All right. Just when you thought one wing free ride first impression video wasn't enough, we've got a second. This is a free ride 17 as opposed to the 15 I flew in one of the previous videos. I'm gonna give this guy a shot. See how it feels in comparison? Alrighty, let's give her a go. Ooh, a little bit more lifty. Same rapid roll rate. Interesting. I think the 2D steering on this one is definitely set up a little bit different. I kind of have the feeling that the 15 didn't have this stretchy bridle thing, which is interesting. And I feel like my hands are up more. I don't know. We'll see. Let's do some wing overs. See how it handles. It feels much more like the 16 Viper so far. It has a very nice roll characteristic. I think similar to the Viper 416. It's not near the craziness of the FreeRide 15. That's a pretty wing, dude. I love the profile of both the Viper and the FreeRide. It's beautiful. Dude, I love testing new wings. Like back at home, I fly my wing like all the time. Never really had the opportunity to try something different. So it gives you crazy perspective on what's good and what the differences are. Well, I'm gonna try some wing overs over this area of the field. Looks clear. I'm just gonna go for some wing overs and then we'll try barrel rolls later. Ooh, it does dive nice. That's nice. Definitely more lifty. It gets those nice big wing overs super easy, where you kind of just stab the brakes, weight shift, get the tip line, gun the power, you go right over the top. This wing definitely feels more efficient, like undoubtedly more efficient than the 15 for obvious reasons. It's 2 square meters bigger. I feel like the climb rate is much better and possibly a little bit better than the Viper 416, which makes sense. It's still 1 square meter bigger. Dude, it's, I don't know, probably coming up on 9:30 a.m. The sun's up nice and high, but it's glassy smooth out here. Wind hasn't even kicked up yet. I'm feeling like this wing is a much better intermediate, like for my weight range, as opposed to the 15, which the 15 is just like ballistic ridiculousness. This feels way safer, way more efficient. I do slightly, like in those wing overs, I felt like when I was diving, I felt like it was diving more and gaining more energy than the Viper 416. I feel like the Viper 416, I don't know, it has this really quick recovery arc, which is cool, because then when you do maneuvers, you don't just plow straight down and lose all your altitude at once. But I kind of feel like this was diving a bit deeper. It looks like getting clear below me. We'll see how barrel rolls go. I always feel slightly sketched out doing a barrel roll, like on a new wing for the very first time, because I really don't know the characteristics of it. But we'll give it a shot. That's that nice roll rate. Let's see. Beautiful. That's so easy. I would say that's similar to it feels similar to the Viper. That's so easy. You just wait, like, till you think it's too late, then roll it, you're upside down, you touch the outside, and it stops. That's really nice. I talked about this a little bit in the FreeRide 15 video. This wing, as I read from their website, is supposed to be a little bit more available to not, like, I don't know. If you were to say there was beginner, intermediate, and advanced, this would be like a high intermediate, where the Viper 4 is more of an advanced. But I don't know, I'm feeling sort of the same characteristics in this wing as I feel in the Viper. I think they're pretty similar. I mean, this one has 1 square meter on the 16 that I'm used to on the Viper. Let's see if it's choppy down low. I can feel a little bit of mild turbulence down here. If it's not too choppy, it would be fun to cut it up down here. These wings, compared to the Snake, the Viper, and the FreeRide, you get them sideways and you just tug on that center line and it just sucks you in the turn. It's like they got so much more lift than I'm used to on the Snake, which is great. I really like that. Like at first, when I flew the Viper the very first time, I thought this is kind of boring. Like, I didn't like that the Snake just felt like it was on rails and it was gonna dive at the ground. I don't know, now I've come to really like that characteristic where you just punch the brakes, get that center line engaged, and it like sucks you in a turn. The 2D steering is a little bit different on this than the 15 was. I don't know if this is modified from the factory at all, but it's not bad. I'm used to it already. I got students flying around this morning. I'm gonna try not to get in anyone's way. Be that guy. Buddy, it's phenomenally beautiful up here. Down low, it's starting to get a little bit choppy, and it's warming up down there. Up here, it's just glass. I don't know, dude. Like I was saying, like this is supposed to be a little bit more in the intermediate range than the Viper 4. I don't really feel too much a difference in flight characteristics other than like the sizing difference. Like the 15's ballistic, the 17 is like a little more realistic for my weight range. The risers are a little bit different on this guy. The Viper is a 3-liner and this is a 4. It's a bit easier to use. Like the Viper risers are really confusing, and I like these better just in grabbing your brakes and A's and hooking up on the ground. It's definitely a lot easier. The other thing is, on my Snake, and I think dudek wings in general, at least like 50% of the speed is in the trims and then 50% is in the speed bar. But this guy, you can see the trim range isn't that long. Compared to the Viper, it's about the same. I would say maybe 1/3 of the speed is in the trim range, and then another 2/3 is in the speed bar, which, what that means to me, one thing that's cool is when you go trims out on this, all the way out trims, you can still use full brake authority. On my Snake, I go up to about 6, and that's where I stop. If I go much further, you risk the potential to collapse the wing by pulling brake. But the downside of that is if you want to fly across country and you want to let your trims out and cruise for like good speed and efficiency, this wing probably isn't going to have as much potential in the trim range, and you might see yourself wanting to use the speed bar. So that's a little bit, I don't know, in the cross-country aspect, maybe it's a little disappointing. Who knows, maybe this flies just as fast as the Snake trimmed out. I would doubt it, but you never know. Okie dokie then. Well, I'm borrowing this wing from a man Lauren down there. I better return it to him soon. I think I'm gonna probably do some wing overs, and then we'll come on in. Got a lot of paramotors in the sky now. Definitely for sure when I do maneuvers on this wing, like barrel roll or wing overs, when I was doing those before, I was expecting to be at the ground sooner than I was. I was like, oh, I can still fit another one in. No, another one. Whereas the 15 FreeRide, I was like, oh shit, 2 and I'm on the ground. Similar, like I felt the same way with the Viper. You can do a lot of maneuvers in your allotted altitude. Let's try some real nice big wang overs. A little early on that one still. You add that power and smash the middle line, the inside brake I should say, and it just sucks you over the top. Donk-a-donk. I forget Eric's word, he made up a new word, recrunculus? Crunculus? Something like that. Alright, let's join this landing pattern. Behind blue and yellow number 1. Throw out the brakes. Give him a little more time. Where do I want to go? I want to go right over the taxiway. I don't know where I'm going. Beautiful. That's a tough one. What? In what characteristic? All around this one. Personal preference, the 15. Dude, this thing, when you do a wing over, you just gun the power, wait like forever, pull the brakes and roll it, and it like goes right over the top. Yeah, I think third glider would be reasonable, sized appropriately. Thank you for the ride, sir. I saw you had it wrapped up super nice. It was beautiful.